This is a tutorial on the basics of reading XML files from Crysis. Just a quick demo of what we're going to be making in this tutorial. This is a simple bar graph that is reading data from an XML file and scaling these boxes accordingly in height. If you're wondering what an XML file is, I have one here. I'm going to make this available on the web. If we open it up in Notepad, you can see that it's just a text file with tags encased in brackets. This here is the root. This is the root's attribute. And the root has a child called temperatures. And in this case, the temperatures also has a child called T. And T's attribute is located here. As you can see, you can have several children with different attributes but the same name. And these tags at the bottom are simply just to indicate the end of a tag, much like in HTML. There is one other important term to do with XMLs, and that's values. If I open up a new XML document here, you can see that there's another child under T called value. And the actual value of the tag value is 15 in this case. This is just a different way of structuring an XML. It's a proper way, but we're going to be cheating and using the attribute method. So now let's take a look at some of the XML flowgraph nodes in Crysis. These can be used to access external XML files. This first node will open an XML document. The next node, getRoot, will navigate you to the root tag in the XML document. GetChild will take you to the child of the current tag. So in the case of the root tag, the child would be temperatures. The node getChildAt allows you to navigate to children of identical names depending on the index number. The node getParent allows you to navigate to the parent of the current tag. So in the case of T, the parent is temperatures, and in the case of temperatures, the parent is root. The node getValue is used to get the data from a current tag. Okay, so now we're up to setting up a flow graph for our bar graph. First, create a flow graph on an object. I've already got a basic entity here with the input key node set to numpad 7. Add the node XML open document. Link the key press to execute like so. Set the file location to mod. I prefer to keep my XMLs in the mod folder. That way when I move to a different computer I can just take the whole folder. Set the file name to temperaturedata.xml. Don't forget to include the extension .xml, and it's probably a good idea to check your spelling as well. Next, add the node XML getChild and link up the nodes like so. Set the name of the child you want to get, in this case temperatures. Add the node XML getChildAt. We're going to use this to navigate to all of our children named T. Remember, there are 8 of them. Link it up and set the name to T. Add a node XML getAttribute. Link this one up and set the name to value. So what this should be doing is whenever I press numpad 7, it should open the document temperaturedata.xml, navigate to the child temperatures, then navigate to the child T, and then it should get the value at T. And I'm going to output this to HUD and run a test just quickly to see if it works. Okay, so when I hit 7, I see 15, 15, 15, and 15. The reason it's only outputting our first value is because at the node getChildAt, the index is 1. And if I open the XML, you can see it's just outputting this first line. Add the node math up-down counter. We're going to use this to count through the indexes from 1 to 8. Set the preset to 0, high limit to 8, the low limit to 1, and tick the box for wrap. I'm going to link the input key to increment this counter, and I'm going to output the counter's value to the HUD so we can see what it's outputting. And as I press 7, the middle number is 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can see our number up top is not changing. Link the up-down counter output to the index of getChildAt, as well as the execute. This should change the index of the child at the same time as we navigate to it. I'm just going to shift some stuff around here so you can see the process that it's taking from top to bottom. Now for another test. As I hit the input key, we can see the numbers scrolling 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 19, 16, and 10 degrees Celsius. That's very cold. A quick look at the XML, and you can see that it's just outputting these values. Okay, now for making the bar graph. Add a node, entity pos. The object that I have in my level is a 1 meter cube made in SketchUp. It looks flat on screen at the moment because I've scaled it down in the Z-axis. I'm going to assign this to our entity pos. Add a node vec3 to vec. This will basically convert float values into a vector. Place this between our XML output value and our new entity pos. Set the x value to 1, the y value to 1, and drag the XML value into Z. By linking our vector to the scale, we hope to scale our object only in the Z direction. As you can see, it's very tall. Click it again, goes to 16, 18, 20 high, and then comes down a little bit. To control the height, we can add a calibration factor in front of the 2vec. This is just going to be a math multiply node. And I'm going to set this factor to 0.1 and then connect the links. Another quick test, and you can see we've scaled the whole thing down, but it's still moving up and down in proportion. Now we're going to turn this single bar into multiple bars. To do that, add a node called logic demultiplexer. Place this between 2vec and entity pos. add a math subtractor node. Link up our 2vec to the input of our demultiplexer and port 0 to the scale of our entity pos. We are going to use the math subtractor node to turn our up-down counter output from a range of 1 to 8 into 0 to 7. These are the ports of the demultiplexer, so it will simply count through from port 0 to 7. Now I'm going to place more cubes into my level. I'm going to assign each of them to their own entity pos. With a bit of practice you can actually do this so fast that the screen goes blurry. After assigning them all, you can link them up to the appropriate port. Now when I jump into the level and I hit the input key, it should call on the XML and scale the boxes. This last part of the tutorial will show how to scale smoothly. First add a node interpol vec3. Place this between our demultiplexer and our group of entity poses. Link the port of the demultiplexer to the end value of our interpol and the output value to the scale of our entity pos. Set the start value to 110, and lastly connect the port 0 of our demultiplexer to the start of our interpol. I'm going to do this quickly for all ports. Now if we jump into our level, we can see the graph is scaling smoothly. You can find this level, the XML files, and other tutorials on the blog.